even when I'm about to make a score, just harboring a little bit of resentment towards the busting up of the PGA Tour, where they're scrambling trying to find some identifiable commodity, one of whom would be Rory McIlroy. If they could get McIlroy, they get to a kind of semi-Tiger Woods kind of stature in terms of winning. It would certainly be a pleasant transformation for them than trying to sell Scotty Scheffler, who the only time he got anybody excited is when he got arrested. He was dragging that cop around like he was Randy Moss, which was a bullshit thing. I mean, when you really look at it, how does it? I understand that not everybody would recognize Scotty Scheffler, but you're a cop who's assigned to kind of monitor the traffic at the gate going into the golf course, and you're going to go ahead and give this guy a hard time and take him away in handcuffs? Get the fuck out of here. He's leading the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 2 feet from the gate. You couldn't just wave him in?
The whole thing was
He's hanging onto the car door like he's surfing. That was ridiculous.
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very pleasant good morning, everybody. Great to be with you. Today's edition of the Defo Show. Jeff DeForest. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz. We're going to be joined by Dave Gurggles Gergely in just a couple of minutes here and get into a little trivia challenge for your trivia challenge fanatics, which we always appreciate the participation on the show, as the Chronics usually use this platform to kind of shake off the ring rust from their last appearance at a live. And Lenny's out there every night, Lenny the Chronic, out there every night competing in some kind of trivia competition. But the big one, let's face it, this is the Wimbledon of trivia bar activity. It would be Lubie and the Professor going out to Landlubbers every Thursday night. Much talked about all around town. There's a buzz about this particular competition. And so I really appreciate it when Gurggles comes on a Thursday and kind of gets everybody's appetite wet for the phenomenal competition that's going to take place live at Landlubbers later on tonight, with Mike Lubie Lubitz hosting and the Professor in the background coming up with a lot of brilliance. So we'll get you set for that. You can dial us up if you want to play. We have a Landlubbers gift certificate we'll give away, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. I think the golf world is, if they can just hang on and get through this period of time with the stiffs that are out there, even if McIlroy never plays again after that disgrace of a finish that he had. And, anybody can miss a couple of short putts, right? It's just at that moment, do we go Segredo on this? I don't know that he was choking in the big moment. He's had a penchant.
Yes.
McIlroy, would you say, is that fair? I mean, he's gone 10 years without winning a major.
10 years. But
he's been right in there a couple of times. I mean, he's got like 5 second-place finishes or something.
This is his thing. I don't know why I say it's his thing. I don't know if he's Greg Norman, but he's gotten close and fallen apart a few times.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did it so egregiously.
Norman was subject to, a little bit of a jinx, though. Would you agree? That Larry Mize putt at the Masters, I mean, that had no chance to go in. It was 100 feet away. It was, going this way and that way and rolling into the creek and out of the creek and into the trap. And then the next thing you know, it goes in the fucking hole. And then the Bob Twait thing, remember that? When he got the shot in out of the sand trap and it looked like he was finished. And I think that cost Norman a couple of majors. So I don't know if that was him choking or other guys just pulling miracles out of their ass. If golf can survive, what do you think the state of golf is going to be by the time Tiger Woods' son, Charlie, who is now 15,
he's coming,
is capable? I mean, what are we saying? When did Tiger make a move? Was he 20, 21?
19, 20. I think he was like 19. He was like in college, amateur, and he wasn't there long. Like, I think he was like 20, 21.
Hey, he went to Stanford. And did he play 1 year of college golf or something?
Great there, but it was pretty well known that he wasn't going to be there long.
No, it was likely that he was going to fly the coop very quickly. Charlie, anyway, 15, congratulations to him. There are signs of life here. Who has a better chance of having a monumental career, the kind of career that would be a replica or some kind of facsimile of what their father did? Would it be Tiger Woods or Bronny James? I don't know that Bronny James, that
Charlie Woods.
Each parent has set a standard that is so high that you would imagine that no kid could live up to it. Now, we have seen parents that have set high standards, with Barry Bonds, right? Bobby Bonds was a hell of a player, but does anybody remember what Bobby Bonds did? No, all they remember is what Barry Bonds did. And it's fair. Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey, great ball player, but does anybody really talk much about his accomplishments? No, they all talk about Ken Griffey Jr. In this case, now Bronny James, it would be unrealistic to expect anybody to duplicate what LeBron James has done in the next 30, 40 years. I mean, somebody's going to come along. There's always, a new star, somebody else out there that, is working their ass off and going to emerge and maybe be that person. But Charlie now qualifies for the U.S. Junior Amateur Tournament. So that's a big deal, right? And he did this did he do it in Coral Springs? He was at some Coral Springs golf club qualifying for this thing, and he won the tournament. So congratulations there. So you're going to go with Charlie Woods over Bronny James.
Bronny James is average, and he's Russian.
Is he even an NBA player? I mean, in your opinion, Lubie, is he an NBA player?
3 years of college, he definitely is athletic enough where he can play defense, and he's actually okay shooting the three.
Yeah.
After 3 years of college, he could have found a role in the NBA. The problem is, to be 3-and-D, even 3-and-D guy, he's 6 foot. 6'1". They thought he was 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, really? It was kind of like a Harold Miner thing.
Yes. So he like literally is 6'1". So like to have him play the wing, he can't play the wing. And even playing guards, he's undersized to play guards. So like he really needs 2 more years. Maybe he can grow an inch or two in the next couple of years. He can put on some size. But he's not.
Did you grow much after your freshman year in college?
I didn't grow at all, as you can tell.
Oh,
but
okay.
people do. You do grow to your 2021. We do see guys tack on another.
I don't think I got any taller once I got to college.
I didn't, obviously, but again, people do tack on a couple inches, so it would be very useful for him. But the fact he's not doing that, he's going to the draft now. It's going to set him back. Whereas Charlie Woods is going to take his time. I mean, he's not going to go pro at 16. So, and he's been in the spotlight playing a long time. Like I know Bronny's gotten spotlight for other things. But Charlie Woods has done like a lot of these national tournaments with Tiger for years now. And like Tiger's literally leaned on him to like help rehab his image.
What was Bronny James, high school team, any great shake?
They were really good, but he was like the 3rd best player on his team.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't see the thing with Bronny James. There's this big fascination that he's going to be a pro and some team has to draft him in order to have any shot of either retaining or signing LeBron. Seems a little odd, but this Charlie Woods, might be the goods, right? He's going to be in the U.S. Junior Amateur Tournament and probably in there with a shot to win. Well, will he be as overbet as his old man is right now? That's a good question. Can you bet on this shit? 15-year-olds playing golf? I guess you can.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll have to check with our friends there at Bet Online. All right. Many things happening, but we want to get to the trivia challenge here. And we do have, look how handsome this guy is. How is it possible, Gurggles? You are the most well-preserved individual this side of the polyman. It's incredible.
Alcohol is a great preservative.
It's incredible. You don't age, Dave Gurggles Gergely.
Listen, you guys are missing the one that's going to succeed out of the father and sons.
Yeah.
John Daly's son.
Oh yeah, how's he doing?
He's playing this weekend in a Corn Ferry event.
Okay,
out in Arkansas, and he may have a better career than both of those combined.
The question, I guess, would be: could he have a better career or a similar career as his father? I guess you're saying yes to that because John Daly, unfortunately, had his share of demons that maybe impeded him from being as great as he possibly could have been. What a fun guy, though, to be around he was. Even when he was at the height of his troubles. I did one of those things, kind of a Gurggles type of thing, where I was emceeing a small group. They went out on a Tuesday with a small group before one of the Honda Classics, and they asked me to emcee this thing. And one of the guys that was participating was John Daly. What a delight. It was like Lee Trevino with power.
Yeah.
And he just was having a great time out there. Grip it and rip it was the mantra, and he did just that. And at that time, he was still sort of winning tournaments or contending in tournaments. But then shortly after, I mean, who could ever forget that? Was that any U.S. Open, the meltdown where he had the can of Diet Coke and he was shaking? And
yeah, I remember it vividly. Yeah, it may have been. But, Daly, what people don't realize about John Daly, as big as he was, he had a terrific short game as well.
Yes.
Out the greens. A really terrific player and quite a personality as well. He was very good for golf. And like you said, his own worst enemy, though.
It's still fun to see. One of the things about him is that he at least kind of laid it out there. He wasn't trying to deceive anybody that everything was fine. He would just tell you straight up, "Hey, I thought about driving my car off a mountaintop," and he was honest, which or seemed to be, and that always is appealing to people, and usually is a source of far more empathy or sympathy than somebody that's telling you, "Yeah, you know what, go fuck yourself." He was never like that. Which we would be tempted to do if somebody was questioning our sanity.
But
That's for sure.
I did get a kick out of watching them play Pinehurst #2. I
Yes.
had played that course a few
Oh, you
years
have?
back. Well,
Nice.
yeah, at a meeting I was at, and I knew about those greens. But the question I wanted,
What was the story? I mean, they crested or something? Is that what they call it? And then
yeah,
the holes were right on the crest?
imagine actually the shape of a woman's breast and trying to putt up and stop at the top. Not that easy, but that's just. But what the question I wanted to ask is, why did Pavone not putt out before?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, somebody corrected me and told me why.
What was the reason?
In deference to McIlroy, he was on the opposite side of the hole as DeChambeau, and he didn't want to give DeChambeau the line on that putt. And that's the reason he did not putt first.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah. Kind of interesting. You were mentioning various procedures. I saw one yesterday. I had to go to this rehab place for my Achilles, and next door there was some kind of female waxing, that type of stuff that people do that I don't understand. And one of the things they do was vaginal bleaching. Have you ever considered having vaginal bleaching done? What is vaginal bleaching? Does anybody know?
I don't want to know.
Are you familiar with that term?
I
mean, it was right there, big letters. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noticed it. The vaginal bleaching was one of the services they provided at this European wax center or something.
I will. They probably have it in Hialeah in a couple of corners.
No, there they just inflate you with some kind of a thing that could fill up a tire on a semi truck, and all of a sudden you have an enhanced buttocks. All right, Gurggles, and have you been faring? Have you had any of your usual adventures? Because you're one that will go back and do the throwback stuff. Yeah,
leaving this weekend, taking 16 guys up on our annual golf trip to Orlando, so I probably won't be back Thursday. But yesterday we had the Chamber of Commerce golf tournament between Raindrops. Tomorrow we will have a unique program U of M puts on. It's the After School All Stars. It's for kids to raise money for them, but 132 golfers will be here tomorrow.
Wow! And I know how much you love kids.
We're hoping to. Well, the kids will probably
they're not playing. Okay,
benefit them. But right now, thanks to our good friends at Mel Reese are managing the course here. The first tee is here, so we've got the kids here every day. They have got their pull carts with the umbrellas hooked onto them.
Charlie DeLuca, man, I used to love that guy.
Charlie DeLuca Jr. and his lovely wife do a terrific job.
Charlie's still around? Oh, Junior.
Charlie Jr. Yeah. His dad sadly passed, who was the first pro here in '63, I guess.
What happened to Johnny Lapenzina? He was a big name.
He's still around, running that Premier card, I believe.
He has it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is your course on the Premier card or not?
We are on the Premier card, yeah. Yep.
And so I was telling somebody about it. In fact, the guy that was doing the therapy on my Achilles, he said he was out playing golf and he paid like $65 to play. And I thought, well, do you have what would it cost a guy with the card now to play? Say,
I think the Premier card pays like 45 when they play.
Oh, is it 45? Okay.
Yeah. Because
it was 20 back in the day or 25.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, and
of course that was back in the day.
I believe we're going to close in the end of November for complete remodel here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to the tune of several $1 million. So
don't change the elevation on that second hole.
No, that's the highest part in all of Dade County, next to the dump in Miramar, I guess. Yeah.
It's always great, and it's a short hole too. So if you hit any kind of contact with the driver that's somewhat in the vicinity of the fairway, and you got yourself a pretty good shot and a nice chance to maybe carve out your first birdie of the day right there on numero dos, which is great.
Matter of fact, we had somebody drive the green and eagle it yesterday. Which
get out of here!
Yeah, from that elevated tee spot. Yep.
Yeah, there was always a lot of frustration with me because of the various defiance of aerodynamic law, where your ball would end up somewhere in the lake. That is, caddy corner there to 18, I think it is. Doesn't it have like a little lake out there? Okay, very good.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, Gurggles, the trivia challenge on tap here, I would imagine very challenging as always. A lot of different things going on. I don't know if you delved into questions about the Euro, but what would you have? We were discussing this earlier on another show. Wouldn't the ambition of everybody out there right now, after watching this Monty Williams thing, to be a failed professional coach?
Wow, how about it, huh?
Oh my God! I mean, the guy coached 1 year, won 14 stinking games, got $75 million guaranteed by the NBA. My word, that's the way to go. And then turns out Belichick at 72 is banging some 24-year-old. And they had the dorm ring thing of him shirtless running out of her apartment there somewhere in Beantown.
Huh.
That's pretty good, though, but goes way out of the category, as we've said many times. I mean, if you were 72 years old, let's say, we'll go with even numbers, the lowest age you should pursue in a woman would be cut that in half. That's 36, add 7 years. So a 43-year-old would be at the bottom. If you're going any lower than that, what are you doing, Gurggles? I mean, you're a cradle robber at that point. You're halfway to being a pedophile. This guy's 72 with a 24-year-old. I mean, he's way under the Mendoza line on that thing. That's incredible. All right, coming back with the trivia challenge. Dial us up if you want to play. 954-417-0070. We will test your sports knowledge and acumen with the always razor-sharp Dave Gurggles Gergely. 954-417-0070. That's Mike Lubie Lubitz. I'm Jeff DeForest, and we're back with more. The trivia challenge gets underway in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:30. Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante, the Belmont's now 1.8 miles. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici, just switch the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on The Defo Show.
The sheer creative genius of the Polyman, and nobody could go ahead and implement or execute this kind of material better than the Polyman. So let's dedicate this game to the Polyman, Paul Massell, who is very much in action right now, and you can catch him. What do they call it? Did they still call it the Magic City Casino, Dave Gurggles Gergely? The Gurggles, did he freeze up on us, Gurggles? Either that or he's doing one of those things that these guys in Vegas do.
He's thinking very hard.
My God, he is deep in thought.
He froze.
Now, let's refresh Gurggles here, and we'll get into the trivia challenge. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070 if you'd like to join us here. Are you into this Euro thing at all? Jim Sarney's bugging us on the channel.
I was, like I said, in years past in a former life, I got into the Euro.
The Euro, okay.
The World Cup I've been into since I was
I'll watch a little World Cup.
I've been into the World Cup, and I've watched every World Cup since I was in college. So that's like 20 years. That's like 5. But Euros, I did get into it a little bit. The last few times, I haven't really watched it.
I tell you what I watched the other night, and I didn't realize they had made another season of this. I'm not sure how many seasons there are in total, but on Netflix, There's a series about tennis called Breakpoint. And wow, it's great. I mean, if you're into like an inside look, one of those kind of behind the scenes, the thing that Hard Knocks is supposed to do, but it's kind of become sort of formulaized, and it's getting to be very much the same every year. You can kind of predict what's going to happen with the storylines. The scrub's going to get cut at the last minute. He's going to lose his girlfriend, and all of a sudden he's going to lose his mind, end up in prison. Well, we see that all the time. But this Breakpoint on Netflix, I think it's great. Being a big tennis fan, it's just absolutely fantastic. I binge watched it last night since there wasn't much live action. How you feeling, Gurggles? Real quickly about. I know you're not a giant hockey guy, but you do follow the local sports scene, and you probably have gotten to know many of these guys over the years that played for the Florida Panthers or represented the organization. How are you feeling about this Game 6?
Well, I think they've got to, tighten up on the defensive side. I mean, you got to give it to Edmonton. They're explosive. That Connor David is terrific. But I am a huge hockey fan. I was a season ticket holder the very first year in '93 at the old arena.
Oh, okay, great.
Had seats in the second level right across from the Beezer. And the way the old arena was constructed, you were closer in the second level than some of them below you in the first.
Yeah, it wasn't even in the back row. I remember seeing one of the playoff games in the very back row against the wall, and it was a good seat. It was kind of like being in the Orange Bowl when you were up there at the top and pinned against the fence there, and pigeon shit was coming on your head. And but you were hovering over the field. It was great.
Yeah, so I'm rooting for the guys. I mean, the pressure, I think, is back on the Panthers, to be honest with you, no matter what people say. So they seem to have the right attitude. It's just their defense, I think, let them get in a little too close. They give too many chances like that. And you can't, even shorthanded, they've been beaten twice shorthanded too.
Yes, last two games, odd man rushes. That's the terminology that Paul Maurice was using, and he was using it with many expletives injected into the sentence, inserted in there because they've been killing the Florida Panthers in the last couple of games in the series and been vulnerable before that to this.
The last time I heard the term odd man rushes where three guys were looking for the Paulie man on the clubhouse floor and he hid behind a post, I think.
Paulie man was great at disappearing. He really was. I mean, and then all of a sudden you'd see the Paulie man kind of peel himself off one of those pillars and say, "Hey, Paulie man, I didn't know you were here." And he would say, "Don't tell anybody. I was here all along." All right, you had some kind of a lighting change there. Dave Gurggles Gergely, you're having some technical difficulty. There, it looks great now. What happened there? A lighting hit or
No. The light is regulated in the office to last a certain time. If nobody's in, it goes off automatic.
You did that well, though. Nice, smooth transition. All right, you ready, David?
Yes.
You geared up, ready to go? Okay, and dial us up if you want to play. 954-417 0070. We're going to start out the game in the traditional fashion with our dedication to the Polyman and some
easy baseball. This Cincinnati Reds manager, addressing his team after suffering yet another tough loss on the road, said, "Okay, guys, there'll be two buses leaving the hotel for the park tomorrow. The 2:00 bus will be for those of you who need a little extra work. The 5:00 bus, the empty one, will leave later." What was that? Dave Bristol, Billy Crystal, Crystal Gale, or Crystal Blue Persuasion?
I was going to say Whitey Herzog. That was going to be my blind guess. All right, here's the random phone scrambler to select our first player. And Lenny the Chronic. Chronic, how are you, my friend?
How you doing, guys?
Fellas, how are you?
Good morning, Chronic.
How you doing, guys?
Doing great. You're in the game? Yes.
Congratulations. I heard you won last week.
They did.
Yeah, we didn't get the announcement, though. Brian was very upset.
I saw the number wrong on Ken's thing, so I gave them second instead of first. But they did get their gift certificates, and they were champions yet again.
We did.
Wow. Screwed by the French judge. Unbelievable. In this game, though, you're right in there, Lenny, with 1 point to start us out. Congratulations on that.
All right,
Hockey, true or false? At last Tuesday's game at the Panthers-Oilers arena, believe it or not, two Edmonton fans in Edmonton jerseys were stopped by security from entering because they were carrying rat traps. True or false?
Wow, that could be dangerous.
Okay, let's go true.
True?
No. I made that up.
I mean, it's one thing to put a giant squid in your pants and go into a hockey arena, but a mousetrap probably is not the most advisable thing. Somebody bumps into you, the next thing you know. You need a vaginal bleaching after
Exactly.
that. Have you ever had a No, I mean, obviously you haven't, Lenny, but have you known anybody that had a vaginal bleaching? We're trying to find, are there any women that are viewing the show right now that aren't offended by it? You shouldn't be offended. It's a thing. It's a procedure. It's a thing you pay for gladly, voluntarily.
I'll ask my wife.
What the fuck is it? We need to know. Somebody help us out. Blanche, any of our fans there, Bonnie.
I don't think they watch this show.
All right, you're 1 for 2 and going for 4 here. Oh, by the way, did you see this? Frank Miramonte on The Price is Right?
No.
Did you catch this, Gurggles?
No.
Sheldon G put it up, and I had to go watch it then. And Miramonte's on The Price is Right. I don't know if it was a setup because he immediately got picked. And it seemed like they sort of had arranged this. It just appeared. It had a little bit of a look of impropriety, like the producers might have known Miramonte and said, "Hey, we're going to put you on, and you're going to definitely get on the show." He gets on, and he wins a trip to Hawaii.
God bless you.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. That was just the other day. Yeah, Miramonte came on there looking like a schlub. I don't even know if he ever mentioned that he was the track announcer at Santa Anita. I'm not sure he made any mention of that. All right, here we go. What are we up to? The three-pointer?
Three-pointer. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's take you back in Marlins history, Lenny. The Marlins won their first opening game in 1993 versus the Dodgers 6-3, led by 2 players who both had 2 RBIs. Scott Pose was one of them, and the other was Walt Weiss, Brett Barbary, Jeff Conine, or Dave Magadan.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go with former Met Dave Magadan.
Dave Magadan, original third baseman. Incorrect.
Even though Conine was 4 for 4 that day, it was Walt Weiss.
Walt Weiss.
The other 2 RBIs of that game.
And those might have been his only 2 RBIs of the season. I think Walt was like a perennial, consistent 176 hitter, no matter where he was on the Major League Baseball tour. Going for 6 points, Lenny, to set the pace.
Good luck, Lenny. Boxing. The great Muhammad Ali never turned down an autograph in his entire career after being rejected for an autograph when he was younger from
Ooh, that's a good question.
Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Patterson, Archie Moore, or Jake LaMotta.
Wow. Who would shun an autograph? Boxers are usually pretty good about that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Muhammad Ali never turned down an autograph in his career because he was shunned as a youth trying to get an autograph from this boxer, and he was rejected. Was it Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Patterson, Archie Moore, or Jake LaMotta?
That's a tough one. They're all old. I'm going to go with the Sugar Man.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray.
That's right.
Yes.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Wow.
Very good. Wow, Lenny comes out big.
Maybe
Pulled that one out.
Talk about being the Panthers and pulling one out of your ass, which they did the other night. Very nice. That was a tough one. Jake LaMotta, I can't see turning anybody down for an autograph. He was a very approachable guy. I remember I used to see him all the time at Gulfstream Park. He would have the hat on. He was in a wheelchair late in life and was always willing to talk to anybody for hours on end, as is the case with most boxers. I mean, even the most ferocious and seemingly unlikely to appreciate somebody sticking a piece of paper in their face. Usually very, very accommodating about all of that. All right, Gurggles, Perdomo Cigars, I would imagine you've been lighting up several of late. Is there a day that goes by that you don't at least think about the aromas of a Perdomo cigar?
On my mind. I walk out of my office here right to the Pro Shop desk, and there they are. The champagne La Tradicion is there in the both Robusto and Churchill style. I will probably stop in there maybe today or tomorrow, pick up some for my trip. I like the Lot 23 and, of course, the Cadillac of Perdomo Cigars, Edition de Silvia. But right around the corner.
That's great. They named one after Polly's ex-wife cigar. That was great.
That's right, Edition de Silvia. Anyway, you just had Father's Day. If your father got a nice tie from you, you can make up for it with some Perdomo cigars. Stop by them. 305-627-6700 is the number to call. 5150 Northwest 167th Street is the place to go. They're on the south side of the Palmetto as you're heading east and just a little east of the Home Depot. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And maybe on the weekend you want one. That's not a problem. Any tobacconist worth their salt well, you can get a great Perdomo cigar. You're coming out here to play golf at Miami Lakes, right at our Pro Shop counter, we got them as well. So tonight, when the Panthers
That's
win
tomorrow.
3-2, light it up, a Perdomo cigar.
That'd be a good thing to do. No doubt about that. Yeah, the game's Friday.
It's Friday night, annoyingly. Yeah,
Edmonton. Because it takes a while to sleep off.
2 weeks to get to fucking Edmonton.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're actually crossed paths and had to be held up for a little while as the people in the Iditarod
Like in the Arctic,
had to swing their way by as they were going. Yeah. Fucking pushers were going by with McDavid jerseys on. All right. Here's our next set of questions. Dave Gurggles Gergely.
All right. Football. This TV commentator on a rather unique comparison between football and ancient lore said, Dracula and LSU football are both at their best after the sun goes down. Was that the late, great Beano Cook, Captain Cook, Cookie Rojas, or Cookie Lavagetto?
Go ahead and roll it, Lubie. And that is like the wheel off The Price is Right. Can you imagine I'm looking at the TV and there's Miramati and he's winning a trip to Hawaii.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Here's Ron. You're on the Hialeah Park. You're on the trivia challenge. Hialeah Park, one time a big part of it, but they've gone in another direction. We still love them.
Yeah,
Ron.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
Good morning, Ron.
He's right on the money, Ron. Way to go. Got 1 point.
All right. Horse racing, Ron. True or false? In 1966, at a horse race in Ghana, all the jockeys went on strike as the authorities would not sacrifice a cow at a specific bend in the track that was considered to be dangerous. True or false?
Wow. That's interesting.
Let's go true.
That has to be true.
True. It is true. Nice job, yeah.
Yep.
What the
They wouldn't
hell?
sacrifice a cow?
Yeah.
Think about
They
it.
thought it was dangerous at this one turn in the track,
We've seen all kinds of strategies. Does that happen at like Fort Erie? I'm not sure.
Havre de Grace.
Yeah, at the Wheeling Downs. Okay, 2 for 2, Ron. Good job sniffing that out. Going for 5 points here.
All right, baseball. Shea's first and only All-Star game in 1964. The National League won 7-4 on a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. By what National League player or by who?
Ooh.
Was that Willie McCovey, Del Crandall, Frank Howard, or Johnny Callison?
That one I know. Lenny would have got this.
I don't know. Let's go D.
D is correct. Is it not?
Yes,
Johnny
remember
Callison.
remember who he hit it off?
And now you're getting real difficult. Degree of difficulty very high.
He hit it off. They called him the monster, Dick Raditz.
Oh, Raditz, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Raditz, just a wicked sidearm sort of submarine guy that threw the ball
Big guy,
120 miles an hour. The monster. Nobody wanted to face this guy. He'd hit the first guy in the ass as a matter of routine also. And send the guy crying into the clubhouse, and that was it. Nobody wanted to stand in there against him. Is this a possible sweep that we're looking at? Yes.
Wow,
Gurggles. Better get into some ABA stuff. What do you got?
All right, here we go, Rod. Horse racing. In taking third in the 1991 Belmont Stakes behind Hansel, who won the race, this horse became, at that time, the only one to finish third in all 3 Triple Crown races.
Wow.
Was that
All right.
Shecky Green, deputy minister, offshore judge, or Maine minister?
A lot of ministers in there.
Let's go deputy minister.
Deputy minister for the sweep.
Wrong minister. Maine minister
Wow.
finished third. Yep.
All right. Very representative showing there, Ron. Ron ends up with 5 points. The Chronic in the lead with 6. You can dial us up if you want to play. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070 if you'd like to join us here on the Trivia Challenge. Dave Gurggles Gergely with the questions for us. And you can jump on board and play the game. We'll play a couple more before we hit the wire here and the championship round. So we'll come back and wrap up today's edition of the Trivia Challenge with Dave Gurggles Gergely in the host chair in a moment. Now that it's 8:48.
Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs, unmatched. Steaks, hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by asleep to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks.
What could that have been about except
Gambling.
to hedge or not to hedge?
The modern day odd couple, Defo and Lubie, are on now. It is, of course, the Defo Show.
All right. Welcome back to the show. The trivia challenge on the way with Dave Gurggles Gergely. That's Mike Lubie Lubitz. I'm Jeff DeForest, and happy to have you guys with us. So we'll try and squeeze in another one here before we go to the finals. We do have a hot game working with the usual suspects. The Chronic with 6, Ron with 5. You can jump on board at 9544-170-070. Dave Gurggles Gergely is your master of ceremonies. What do you think about Willie Mays, the departure of Willie Mays? Were you a Mays fan growing up as a kid?
You may remember I told this story when after Coach Schuler retired, Billy Herman, his caddy, and my boss set up a program called Schuler Salutes, and they would sell tickets in the ballroom, bring in various famous athletes. Jack McKeon was there after the Marlins. Well, Willie Mays was there. So after he spoke, Billy Herman says, "Dave, nobody's asking questions. Ask him a question." So I'm in the back of the room. I go, "Hey, Willie, in 1951, when you guys played the Dodgers, you guys were accused of stealing signs from them to win that series. Is that the truth?" He said, "Listen, you son of a bitch, I hit 150 in that series. Don't talk to me about stealing signs."
No.
So that was my only encounter with the great Willie Mays.
Very, very Jim Gray-esque on your part to go ahead and ask him like a really offensive question right away. I like that. Very aggressive.
That was a big rumor.
Yeah. No, that was good, Dave Gurggles Gergely. No, he was one of those guys. I mean, growing up in New York, and the Dodgers left in '58. The Giants and Dodgers left in '58, so Willie was gone. I was only 7, so I wasn't that enamored with them as a New York entity so much. But we loved Mickey Mantle, and we were constantly defending Mantle against Mays in the argument about, it's like the old Montana versus Marino, who's the better quarterback. We used to go through here on sports talk shows forever. And we were always defending the Mick. And then anybody that, had any ability to observe and dissect what was going on a baseball diamond eventually had to concede, you know what? Overall, Willie might have been the best all-around player that we've seen in a long, long time. The way he ran the bases, too, it was great. Now, did you knock your hat off on purpose a few times? Like when you were running the bases, did you just deliberately knock your hat off so you could beat Willie Mays?
I kept it on. I think I had like a Dairy Queen sponsor on it. I didn't want to change them.
What do you mean? You want us to pay this week? It was in the dirt between second and third. Great ball player. So I figured you might have something on that. All right, we ready to go? Next set of questions. This is going to be our last player here on the show. So here's Dave Gurggles Gergely.
Football. This original Tampa Bay Bucks coach, on trying to inspire his team with some humor, said, "Hey, guys, today, let's go out there and win one for the Quipper." What's that? John McKay, Jim McKay, Gardner McKay, or Gardner Dickinson?
McKay was great, man. I love this guy. I had a chance to encounter him many times when covering USC football. He was there briefly while I was out there. All right, we got Pat ready to play. Pat, you're on the trivia challenge. Pat? There he is.
38.
A is correct. Nice job, Pat.
Well done, Pat.
I had a feeling he was going to come through on that one.
Hockey, Pat, true or false? Believe it or not, longtime Maple Leafs backup goalie Glenn Healy actually missed several games when he cut himself while changing the bag on his bagpipes. True or false?
Wow, that's a tough one.
Bagpipes. Well, they play bagpipes up in Canada, so I'll say that's true.
True.
That is true.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Good job, Pat. 2 for 2, going for 5, tie for second place if you get this one right.
All right, sports, Pat. What sport, excuse me, did Tiger Woods play in high school and considered pursuing professionally before choosing golf? Was that baseball, football, basketball, or tennis?
Tiger Woods, I think he played baseball.
Baseball. I'm going to say tennis.
No, it was hoops. Basketball.
Hoops. All right.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Very good. And so you need this one, Pat. You're either going to be in the lead and in the finals, or we'll say sayonara until later on tonight when you run into Lubie, hopefully at Landlubbers.
All right. In honor of tomorrow night's Panthers game, where they're going to win 3-2, not tonight, the Panthers advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals way back in 1996,
yes.
We remember. However, the next year, 97, they lost in the first round of the playoffs to...
Ooh, that's an easy one, Pat. You got that wrapped up.
Flyers, Rangers, Bruins, or Sabres?
That would be the Rangers.
Rangers, it was. Yes.
That's it. Regrets.
All right. Rolled right into the finals there, Pat. Don't go anywhere. And we're going to square him off against the Chronic. So we're going to dig up Lenny again. In the meantime, Gurggles, again, I don't know that we can emphasize enough how great these cigars are, Perdomo cigars. Are they still, involved in these rankings with Cigar Aficionado and all that stuff?
They got Cigar of the Year in Germany. They go to the Big Smoke in Vegas all the time. The business is going great guns. Nick Jr. are all involved. Like I said, I'll stop by today or tomorrow, pick up some for my trip. We've got 4-bedroom, 4-bath villas with a nice balcony. I'll go out on the balcony.
Is that Grand Oaks? Is that what it's called? I know there's a Grand Oaks that Huizinga owns.
Grand Cypress is one,
Grand
of course.
Cypress.
Yeah, Grand Oaks is the one.
Yeah, and they have the condos and townhouses.
But we're in a separate area called Magic Village Yards, and the best thing with 16 guys, everybody our age likes their privacy.
Sure.
We've got our own bedroom, own bathroom, and terrific villas, and we'll play 3 rounds of golf, including a Waldorf Astoria and Shingle Creek, which is another great course.
Do they have a links course there?
They did at Grand Cypress, and now we play that every year. We're going to play the other one that just was renovated, and instead of the links one. But you're right; they shared greens and everything like that.
Yeah, I got to stay there years ago. Yeah,
I give it to you.
Years ago when they first opened it up, they were sending a bunch of media people there, and they gave us a weekend there. It was fantastic. Really a great place. So it must be even better now because, the courses have had a chance to kind of, what would you call it, mature. And they had a couple of island holes and all kinds of crazy stuff there. Yeah, it was great.
The only thing is the traffic in Orlando is abysmal. It's,
Right,
wow.
right. You don't want to be on I-4 at any time, period. Even 3 a.m. All right, the finals are set here, Dave Gurggles Gergely, and we're ready to go. We have Pat and we have Lenny, a couple of veteran players, many-time winners. Lenny, the all-time champion right now. As Bernie the K has been surpassed. May he rest in peace. Although, did we ever confirm that he passed away, or did he just disappear?
I don't know.
Bernie the K.
He's out there somewhere trying to get through a metal detector with that chain.
Ever since, what was it, kite surfing that we sent him on?
Yes.
What the hell was it? Parasailing, a parasailing prize he won. Where did we get those from? That was, they told me not to use the long rope. I said, well, why did you use it then, Bernie? Imagine his 80-year-old guys hovering above the Atlantic Ocean down there on South Beach, and they don't know whether to try and save him or put advertising on his shirt. All right, Pat and Lenny, the rules are simple. Dave's going to toss out a question. Call out your name if you want to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first choice, and we go back and forth till we have a winner for the championship of today's edition of the Trivia Challenge. Here's Dave Gurggles Gergely.
All right, good luck, guys. Let's take you back in sports history 68 years ago today.
I remember
June 20th, 1956. Jeff was just talking about him. Mickey Mantle became the only player to ever hit 2 home runs into this stadium's right center field bleachers. What stadium was it?
Anybody? Here's
Was
multiple choice.
Comiskey Park?
Pat.
Was it?
Pat's ready. I think Pat's ready pre-choices. What do you say, Pat?
Pat.
Fenway.
Fenway.
No.
Incorrect. What are you talking about, Pat?
All right, Lenny.
All right, here we go. Lenny's got 3 wide open for Lenny. This almost looks like a setup, doesn't it?
Right.
4.
It really does.
Gurggles hasn't given the choices yet. He may still have 4 choices.
Oh, he might, yeah. Was Fenway one of them?
No, it was not.
But we automatically make it one, usually. Yeah.
Yes.
Chronic has 4 choices.
With Lenny, let's throw all 4 in. There we go.
4 choices.
Was it Comiskey Park, Briggs Stadium, Municipal Stadium, or Griffith Stadium?
Wow. I mean, those are old school, that's for sure. Are they all in the same city?
Griffin.
What was that?
Griffin or Griffith?
Griffin.
Whichever one was.
Griffith.
No.
Incorrect. All right. So there's now 3 left for Pat. This is a controversial edition of the game.
Pat, was it Comiskey Park, Briggs Stadium, or Municipal Stadium?
C.
Whatever is C.
What is C? Give us a name.
It is Municipal Stadium. No.
Oh,
that
okay.
was in Cleveland. No.
All right.
Was
You're
it
out of luck
Comiskey
there, Pat.
Park or Briggs Stadium?
What was the first one?
Comiskey.
Park or Briggs Stadium?
Let's go with Briggs.
That's what I would
Yes,
say.
in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
In Detroit, the old Detroit Park.
There was a baseball card. Isn't that where Mantle hit one over the roof of the stadium? Was that in Detroit?
That was Griffith Stadium.
Oh, that was
Washington.
Griffith. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I remember having one, and it had the trajectory with a perforated line on the baseball card, and it showed the trajectory of the ball, and it was landing in the street somewhere. I think they even had it hitting a guy or a car.
So
on the
instead of
baseball
giving
card.
him the gift certificate, just let him have the 25 from last week and congratulate him.
Oh, that's outstanding. All right, so the Chronic wins it. Nice job by the Chronic. He started out hot and ended up pulling that last answer out of his ass, and sure enough, wins the championship. So congratulations. Lubie, what time are your festivities getting underway tonight?
6:30 at Landlubber's Plantation, Sunrise Boulevard in Pine Island.
And Gurggles, are you inclined to make it out there for this one?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to see the Chronics win 2 weeks in a row, so
Yeah.
don't tempt me.
Should be. I mean, there were people outside last week, weren't there, with signs, Lubie, saying "Bury the Chronics"? No. Oh, that was you, Dave. I didn't know you were outside Landlubbers.
Gentlemen, I'll see you
right.
in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Have a great trip. Dave Gurggles Gergely, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That should do it, huh, Lubie? We'll be, Even Keel Fish Shack later on today. That's always a great spot.
Yes, sir.
Brad does a tremendous job. That's the Lauderdale by the Sea location, which I find to be rather convenient since it's right down the block. And we'll have some fun there. And we will see you, of course, tomorrow with our Degenerate Friday. Don't forget our other program. All you have to do is say Caffeine TV Morning Briefing into your Google bar there. And you'll get any number of episodes. And we appreciate it because everybody who clicks on is making us money, which is what we like, Lubie. Now, all of these things are going to count, right? I mean, you had a real roundabout Meshuggah conversation with the powers that be there.
August, supposedly.
August, okay.
I didn't realize
that's around the corner, man. We'll be making big money. It's only taken 3 years, Lubie, but, pretty soon we'll start grinding out $15 a show. It'll be great. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. Always a pleasure. And thanks so much for your support here on the Defo Show. For Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. We will see you next time as we leave you now that.
The time.
It's 9:02.
Let's go to eat a damn snack. Look what they done to